Planet Valenti Television presents Planet Valenti Television. Live and in Poison, here's the star of our show, Dan Valenti. They just don't love the Generalissimo. They love me too. Anyways, thanks for joining us tonight as we come your way for episode number 1111. We hit double digits last week, and we presented a little bit of a compilation of our previous 9 shows. Had a little fun putting that together. And here we are again, once more on PVTV, Planet Valenti Television. Kind of the video equivalent of planetvalenti.com, different content. Sometimes we take up the same stories. And we thank you for tuning in. Our audience is what makes this show. And we seem to have found the audience, and our aim is to keep delivering content that you'll find entertaining, informative, and on the edge as it may happen. I want to introduce, by the way, before I forget, I was tinkering around in the workshop the other day, and I came up with my new invention. And I'm going to pull it right out of my back pocket here. As you can see, it's mobile. I can't say it's wireless, but it's portable. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just bring this in a little closer. You can see that. Yeah, that's my new invention, the phoneless cord. Wait a minute. The phoneless cord. It's also good for a hangman's noose. You see? Right? They try to make up every time, don't they? A couple interesting stories going on this week in the city. There always are. And you can be sure that Planet Valenti is right on the cusp of those stories. On Tuesday evening, the Human Rights Commission met in City Council chambers at 6 p.m., and it's the gang that couldn't shoot straight, I guess. As you probably know, Doreen Wade, who is a businesswoman out of Medford, has a complaint lodged now, apparently on 3 levels, local with the HRC, and according to Doreen Wade, she has filed charges with the state, I believe the Attorney General, and the feds. Don't know about those 2 other probes, but locally the HRC is taking this up, and I'll tell you, it couldn't have received a more challenging case for its first one, I suppose. Ms. Wade is a businesswoman, as we said. She runs an online newspaper that caters to the African-American community out Medford Way, wants to bring her business here to Pittsfield, where she has family ties, and visited the city last year, I want to say April, doesn't matter what time it was. She alleges that during that visit, the mayor, person we call the empty suit, Mayor Dan Bianchi, treated her in a hostile manner, in an intimidating manner, and in a bullying manner, and she has accused Mr. Bianchi of, let's just call it what it is, being a racist. Now, I don't know what happened there. We do know that within this past week, a gentleman named Craig Gaetani, who, along with Dr. Wang, Dr. Lawrence Wang, and Milos Crofta, you might have heard that name, the Crofta flotation system, which the Pittsfield drinking water plant uses, the one out the Cleveland facility, which is located in Hinsdale. Gaetani and Wang essentially designed that plant out there in the mid-'80s and saved, according to their figures, saved the city $100 million. That's not the point of what happened in the last week or so. Last October, according to Guy Tani, he went out to the facility, the Cleveland facility, with City Council President Melissa Mazzeo, and apparently word got back to the corner office that he was out there, intending to give Mazzeo a tour. Well, he was told he needed 24 hours notice, and there were other provisions put on him. I'm not sure if he got in the building. I think he did, and conducted the tour, and afterwards got into hot water with City Hall. Now, this is the guy who designed the plant. He was saying that he, over the years, has conducted countless tours, maybe more than 100 engineers from all over the world to see this, one of the first plants of its type to utilize this new technology, which basically, I don't understand the whys and wherefores, but essentially takes the impurities in the water and using air bubbles, it causes the particulate matter to attach to the bubbles. They rise to the surface, and they're basically skimmed off. And you're left with as pure and as clean a supply of potable water as such a system or any type of water system can provide. And certainly the track record of that plant over the past 28, 29, 30 years or so bears that out. Now, Guy Tani he's been trying to get into that plant now because the city is required by the federal government now to make certain upgrades to the plant. And the figures that the city is looking at, again, these estimates vary widely, but they come in at $70 to $80 million the city is looking at to do this. Guy Tani says that he and Dr. Wang and their consulting company can install better technology at a savings of about $40 million. So if their system cost $15 million and the city's cost $55, $60, you're looking at a lot of potential savings. And he's wanted a hearing with the city to present this information. And he is saying it's eerily similar to what Doreen Wade is saying in her allegations, and that's all they are at this point. But it seems to substantiate what Miss Wade claims in terms of her treatment by the corner office. Guy Tani pretty much says the same thing during a meeting with the mayor. He claims the mayor acted in a bullying fashion, tried to intimidate him, finger pointing, violation of personal space, all that sort of stuff. If that's true, and again, we emphasize and underline if, completely unacceptable, a totally unprofessional manner. So now you've got two public allegations that are making these same charges against the mayor of Pittsfield. This is serious stuff, and by all means, not the only thing that's going on right now. The Planet, even as we speak, is working on a story involving, let's just put it this way, the city's potential lease of space, of office space, with a downtown landlord, and in a building that would, on the surface, if this happens, raise a ton of red flags if this goes through. We'll just tease it up with that. We won't say too much more on that right now, but you'll want to tune in to the Planet online, planetvalenti.com, as we uncover more information on this story. We also got word that a city department head is in hot water, possibly to the point of losing her job for committing the heinous crime of defying Mayor Bianchi's order not to appear on a local radio and television show. And from what we've been able to determine at this point, it seems that this story is true, and it's what we were talking about the last couple of shows. This press policy is nothing more than a gag order, and an almost it's almost clinical. It's so bad, almost a politically paranoid attempt to control the flow of information that is coming out of the city of Pittsfield. Well, let me tell the mayor something, and I think he probably knows this or should know it by now, that the costs of the city, whatever it's going to cost us this year, north of $140 million, between $140 and $150 million, all those costs are borne by Mary Jane and Joe Kapansky, the taxpayer. And as a consequence of fulfilling their responsibilities and providing the city with the money it needs to run the various departments and produce the various services, the people need transparency. And there is nothing about this gag order and all of the press coverage I've seen on it, and not just on planetvalenti.com, which broke the story, all of it has called this media policy shameful. And you ask, what is there to hide? Why keep a guy like Mr. Gaetani, who only designed the facility and who's saying that his company can save the city tens of millions of dollars? Why not hear what he has to say? Why not, as a matter of fact, why not go with him? Mayor Bianchi, why not go with him on the tour? Listen to what he says. If there's any chance, and there seems to be a high probability, a credible chance, that he can save that much, shouldn't you at least investigate with an open mind? So that's the burning question. Why? Why? Why is there so much secrecy involved in the city? In this particular case, the upcoming work that will be needed at the Cleveland water facility. Why the secrecy? Now, one possible answer, it has been suggested, if you're going to have $40 million floating around, get it? We had someone on the planet who commented on that and used the pun, which I just stole, because I thought it was kind of clever. You got a difference of 40, maybe even more, $40 to $50 million. And if you've got this extra money that's going to be paid out, you remember what we learned in Watergate, follow the money. This is not to suggest anything other. It's not to suggest anything other than money like that, differentials of $40 and $50 million, public monies, mind you, can provide a mighty temptation. A mighty temptation. Now, we're going to come back later on in the show to some figures that we have pertaining to budget matters, specifically dealing with the question of indebtedness. And, yeah, you won't believe how much the city has run up the municipal credit card. And again, you, Mary Jane and Joe Kapansky, you're paying for all of this. We're going to reveal some figures here. We had some of them on the planet earlier this week, and we'll include those and have additional information for you on television. Figures you won't get from anywhere else, figures that we extracted after our own research with the city's own figures. And we're going to have that for you on the show in just a little bit. But first, we're going to try something different. You know, when I was a kid, I always liked not puzzles so much, but mysteries. One of my favorite short stories was by the divine Edgar Allan Poe. And he wrote a story called The Gold Bug. and it's a mystery. And the key to the solving the mystery is to be able to decipher this message, this piece of paper that is written in code. And no one can break the code except the detective of the story, who is the hero. And so I'm going to share a little enigmatic puzzle with you, kind of, let's say, visual cryptography. And it will be my challenge to you. We're going to see a video of about 4 minutes, a music video. And then we'll cut to something live here in the studio. And those two segments together make up a message, an important message. The clues are visual, I'll give you that much. And we'll see if we have any prospective sleuths out there. So let's cut to the segment right now, a visual cryptographic enigma.
need no stinking sign. He don't need no sign to walk. But you know what? We're gonna wait anyways till the sign say we go. Because the Generalissimo, he respect the law.
Can we put a strip club and a liquor store in every corner?
Absolutely.
That
The
sounds
Generalissimo,
amazing.
he loved these.
I love the General. I'm in your army, General.
He's another one who loved the Generalissimo.
I love the General.
Very good.
The General's
Thank
a good
you
man.
very much.
All right, have a great day, General.
Thank you very
All right.
much. All right, you see this? This is why we are able to come into this stinking town and talk over. We talk over because of love. What a coup this is because of love, huh? Hey, look at this. Oh, well, I tell you what. The Generalissimo, he loses train of thought again, all right.
All right. Want me?
This is Pittsfield. This is Pittsfield on Dan Bianchi. Any questions?
All right. Well, little hiccup there, but anyways, the cryptography came out pretty much as we intended. The message is there now, and I want to see if we have any super sleuths out there in the audience. Maybe we might even be able to get back some more Generalissimo clips as we move on in the show. But in any case, put your thinking caps on. If you want, if you're taping this show, you know, you can go back and watch it again, maybe slow it down. It's all there. You won't believe what it says. And I'm looking for anybody who wants to take a shot at it. We'll furnish some fabulous prize to anybody who can tell us what all of that meant. And, you know, we're often dealing with enigmas in this town, trying to think of what things mean. And as we, how sweet it is. That was a laugh. They tell us that puzzles are meant to be solved, and we're often trying to solve them with politics and public matters. Now, we talked about the Human Rights Commission as they met for the third time. Now, you'd have to say that Doreen Wade has a complaint. She's not only got allegations against Mr. Bianchi on the local, state, and federal levels, but now it appears that the HRC is giving her more ammunition to go after them. Only last Tuesday night, only Tuesday evening did the Human Rights Commission approve its protocols. In other words, it went for 2 entire meetings, each time taking up the matter of Doreen Wade versus Mayor Bianchi and the city of Pittsfield, each time taking them up essentially without a set of rules, without a rule book, so to speak. And that's foolish. That's like making up the rules as you go along. That's not how games work. It's not meant to be that way. And she brought that up yesterday, and or on Tuesday evening at the HRC, and thought she had a fair point. How can you have a fair game if you don't know the rules? Well, it was the first, or at least an early order of business of the Human Rights Commission to approve its rules, finally, 3 meetings in. And the meeting ended, again, without any kind of a resolution. They just give all of the appearance of not knowing what the heck they're doing. And we have a young chairman, Josh Cutler, fine young man. Josh, as a matter of fact, you might recognize his byline a couple of seasons ago as he did some baseball writing for PlanetValenti.com. Josh got himself elected to the school committee, and I'll tell you what, he let the meeting get out of hand last night. It dissolved into allegations and all sorts of chaos. And you know, public debate is supposed to be rough and tumble once in a while. You see how it's done in England? Good Lord. If we conducted our public discourse the way they do in Parliament, there'd be a lot of thin skins that are easily bruised, crying to mommy about it. Well, you know, I think that the founders had it right. They encouraged free speech and wanted to protect it under all conditions, and you had some of it on Tuesday evening, about as free as it can get. So rather than continue with the meeting and try to resolve something for the plaintiff, in this case, Doreen Wade, who has leveled serious charges against the city, accusing your chief executive officer of being a racist is serious business. And if there is a finding, and we're just saying if, there is a finding that these charges can be proven out or have merit, then who knows what it's going to cost taxpayers? Will we yet again get it in the end? So instead of continuing the meeting, Pamela Malumphey, loser of her last 5 elections, and someone who has made quite a living feeding off the public trough with public jobs or working for nonprofits, quote unquote, she made a motion, and the motion was agreed upon to just stop the meeting. Ridiculous. You let it go. This is democracy. And apparently, Pamela and Pam, unless people are saying what she wants to hear, doesn't want to hear it, I guess. I don't know. But she did the wrong thing, and the committee did the wrong thing by adjourning. You restore order, you deal with the issue, and you give some indication to Doreen Wade, to all those who are watching on television, and to all of the citizens who have a financial interest in the outcome of this case. You give some indication that you know what you're doing. That confidence has not been established by the HRC, and guess who appointed the members of the HRC? Yes, it was none other than the empty suit, Mayor Bianchi himself. And we'll leave him in place for a moment. I guess we can run up some more Generalissimo. A wild cheer for that one. The Generalissimo again. Come on. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Keep it going. They want him back by demand. Let's go to the Generalissimo right now, right here.
How do you do, sir?
How are you?
I
Nice to
am
meet
the
you.
Generalissimo Juan Carlos Jose Feliciano Ricardo Montalban de la Vega, no estando levantamientos de la Santana.
Could you say that again?
Well, actually,
How you doing?
he's a funny guy, you know. But we just take over the government. We have a coup, we take over the government, and the Generalissimo, he love the small businesses like this one, you know. You take care of the shoes, huh?
Yes.
That's very good. You got a lot of soul, huh?
For a heel.
For a year, he make a joke. Oh my God, this guy is unbelievable. We thank you very much. You know what? The Generalissimo, he going to take care of you because you love me, right?
Absolutely.
They love me. They love me. We thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping by.
Very good. Yes, okay. You know, the Generalissimo, he got a pair of boots, you see, like this. Huh?
Oh man, can I make those things shine?
Oh, wow. This guy, he have a job with the government under the Generalissimo. We love you. We love you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Lovely day.
All right, goodbye. To this man.
Are you taking over the city? Is this a
Ladies
coup?
and gentlemen, this is a Rick-a-Belter.
Is this a
He
coup?
is a celebrity. We just have a coup. We take over the government. At City Hall, we now own the government. But we keep other radio stations on the air.
Okay. Yeah. Don't mess with the radio stations.
As long as they play the Generalissimo's favorite music,
Which is?
the Mexican hot dance and Hasta la Vista. I guess, I don't know. But you know,
Anything by Enrique Iglesias.
Enrique Iglesias, you speak our language. This is very good. But Rick Belter,
How about Jennifer Lopez?
very good. We like that. Not so much, but you know. But we listen to you every day, and you stay on the air because the Generalissimo, he loved the people, and we know you love the Generalissimo.
I love the people.
He's not so crazy about the
Not
Generalissimo.
sure about that Generalissimo.
Well, you are a wise man. You have good taste, although he's a Cleveland fan.